got an illustration, but maybe I can. Just bear with me here. Bear with me if you're an honorable. Damn it, I don't need that. Motherfuckers. That's not what I'm looking for. Okay. I had to come and change. I actually had to come change and get some other shoes on because something going on with my left boot heel. And I'm like, what the bitch? You can't get your roll on. And I forgot something. So it's like, you can't get your roll on like that. You got to change clothes, Sister Soldier. You need to change clothes. Because this shoe right here, you ain't able to get your tilt. Your tilt. You ain't able to get your tilt on the way you need to, motherfucker. Huh? With your tilt. So it's not funny. I hope I'm not doing this a disservice by laughing. I was just doing a log and a recording because I do keep a log of activity of what goes on. And as I was doing this log, I did mention as I recorded the log a little bit ago that I might be one of the stronger TIs. I've seen TIs throughout social media. I've seen what it does to a lot of people. And that's a part of what bugs me and fuels me because I see that there's other people that they're breaking down, like they're crying, because it's I heard a gentleman say that it's terrifying. And then there's a young lady that I saw. She was just crying. She's like, I'm just trying to live my life. And I'm like, and it pissed me off because I was like, and nobody gives a fuck. I was like, they got all the time in the world just for this shit. And nobody gives a fuck. All these so-called goodies out here in the universe. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody believed them. And this is a life that they're living, and nobody believes that they're being harassed in this way. And I said to myself, I might be one of the stronger ones, and that may not be a good thing. So I just want to say that though you all hear me laughing and joking, don't take away the seriousness of it. I just might be one of the stronger ones, but that doesn't make it okay. It doesn't mean that it's right, and it doesn't mean that it hasn't affected me. It just means that I'm one of the stronger ones. I've seen people and that's what it's meant to do. Now, I had to come back a couple reasons. Forgot something, and I need to change my shoes. So I'm actually literally changing clothes and gonna go because I got to be on my tilt. I got to be able to bounce, bitch. I can't be with the tilt. I can't be with the limp. And I was like, what's going on with my left shoe? So it's going to Circle K be like the day in the life of the target. Okay, I'm losing words actually, and I'm a words person. I actually caught several Delta Manor folks though. This time, yep, I did on camera. But here's the thing about this, okay? Remember, you guys, whoever you all end up, those of you who are legit and you end up seeing this video, I want to tell you some of their tactics. So you all heard me earlier talk about in different videos about the smoke and the exhaust and those things, right? And how those are things that regular people just do. Now let's go take it a step further. The higher ups that are oblivious, okay, that's not meant to be disrespectful. I'm talking about the ones who are actually oblivious to it. Some are about it, some aren't. So this is what you all may have to incorporate as you study them, studying you with their plots, plans, and schemes. They're going to give you a clue of how to even navigate through their world of bullshit. So for an example, I mentioned that first and foremost, I'm not from Texas. Prior to Texas, you know what I'm saying, I could go out in nature any season of the year and I wouldn't get eaten up by all manner of exotic insects. Okay, I can go I can go for a walk. I can go sit in the grass. I can go stand by a tree. I can walk through the dirt and the grass and the woods and all that. And I wouldn't end up being ate the fuck up by the time I get to my destination. Well, that's not true for me anymore. Since I've been in Texas, I got the marks on my body to prove it that wasn't there prior to Texas. I'm going somewhere. On top of, let's say you're somebody that you're a non-smoker, number one. Let's say you are a non-smoker. Let's say you may have allergens. You may have a sensitive immune system to maybe certain substances, certain, let's say exhaust from a tailpipe, a car that maybe is on its last leg and somebody decided to rev it up and and put all of the manner of smoke in your face. As well as, let's say you have, like I said, just an aversion to certain things, cigarettes, tobacco, vape product. And since people are rude, that people are, they're just doing what they do. They don't consider others. They're smokers, and so they're smoking. Their vapes, their cigarettes, their cigars, their Black and Miles, their weed, whatever. Okay. And they would argue and would stand in court and argue that is or that's their right to do, isn't it? Mm-hmm. That if it is not in a non-smoking specified location, then it may be ethical on a side of considering others, because everybody may not smoke, but nobody, that can't be enforced. So people, doing what they're doing. But let's say you're sensitive to all of those things. Let's say your health is sensitive to those things, because people don't know. They assume they know, but they don't know. They don't even care to know. So let's say as a result, especially if you have to walk, because if you're in a car, maybe that's different. But especially if you have to, essentially everything that you're doing for the most part, let's say you're walking, that means you're exposed to the elements, doesn't it? It means you're exposed to the elements, which would include, but it's not limited to, okay, people who are smokers, vapors, coming into your space as you're walking, okay, or as you're trying to navigate through the things that you have to do, okay, because they're everywhere. As well as people driving. People have interesting driving styles. You're trying to cross street and drive places. There's no sidewalks. And all of that is going on. And smoke might affect your health. You may have a compromised immune system. You may be trying to prevent yourself because you have the battle scars of 1,000 gazillion bites that nobody seemed to get. So you may, out of precautionary tale, decided every few steps you're going to spray yourself just to make sure, especially if it's muggy and humid and, depending on the season, all of the insects are, coming out in full bloom. And you may feel like I need to because, I have a compromised immune system. I don't know what kind of exotic insects and what they're carrying here. Why am I saying that? I'm not saying that to be crass. I'm saying that because listen, follow me. That's plausible, is it not? It's plausible. Just like it's plausible that they just smoking their cigarette. Because remember, they're always trying to get you doing things to get you to act in a certain way, to look a certain way. But what did I just do? Is it not plausible? Could somebody have a compromised health, that things that they're breathing, in terms of, things that are in the air might affect them? They may have a compromised lungs, a compromised system of sorts, and they ain't wrong because they're exercising their free will to smoke they shit up into oblivion. Don't mean that they want their shit fucked by somebody else's choice to smoke. See, this thing's got to go both ways now. It's plausible people just living their life, and it's plausible some folks don't want their life affected by somebody else's choices living theirs. You can't get to a bathroom without walking through a cloud of smoke. A public location, a location in which you have to frequent. You can't get through there without there being, forerunners filling it with smoke, or people coming there to put smoke there as soon as you get there. That could be a problem for your health. What if you and your children have a compromised immune system, asthma, and these people are filling, revving up their engines exhaust and, blowing smoke, making sure to cross your path and stuff? That's a liability. Well, I'm not sharing that because they never stop attempting to make the target look like they are doing, like they tripping and something wrong with them. Look at me, they're spraying me like I'm a bug. Or are they? Or are they making sure that the air they breathe, and that's in their field, is not being filled with your exhaust poison and your cigarette smoke? Yeah, I know that's gonna piss them off, but that's their own doing, isn't it? That's what they do. When somebody comes to question their behavior, then they pull moves like that for nefarious reasons. That's what they do. What do you mean? I'm just smoking my cig. I'm just smoking my cigar. I'm just smoking my vape. I had to go to the store at the exact same time. I just so happened knew that the target was walking over there and I needed to do that. 50% of us in this whole complex needed to go over there at the same time. License plate was retrieved. The numbers, for those of you who wonder, because yeah, I know that they try the psychological shit with similar cars. Nope. Because it's plausible. That's what they're gonna say, right? We're talking casual, everyday things. I had to go to the gas station. I can't help it if the gas station is this direction. Sure, they just so happen to be going to walk over there because we all know they walking and we all get the CQ, and so we all so happen we just so happen, bitch. And we circle the circuit over and over and over and over and over again. We running errands. But to make it serious, to honor the TIs, let me say, this is an atrocity and it's an embarrassment to the country and it's an embarrassment to humanity. It's an atrocity. This country have real threats and things to be concerned about. Me and my son and these TIs are not it. They have real shit to be seriously wanting to pull in every bit of manpower and resources that they can. And I'm gonna even say even on a state level, not just on a federal country, even on a state level. All the fucking alerts that we're constantly getting about some abducted kid in the state of Texas. This is an atrocity. What's also embarrassing is that they are appealing to, I've keep saying this until somebody catches it, these be youth that get in trouble, a teenager, 17-year-old, 20-year-old, 21-year-old, teeny boppers, youngsters. There's no moral fiber here. There's no bottom line. It's like there's no low that where it's okay. We ain't gonna do that. Like we'll just get the old. We ain't gonna fuck with the youth, bitch. We already grooming them to be monsters. Yet we call ourselves telling them we're trying to help them reform. Are you? Are you trying to help them reform? Are you trying to stimulate the economy and give them something constructive to do? Is that constructive? Stalking ladies and their kids and shit? It's an atrocity. It's an embarrassment. Because going to the Circle K is like a marathon. These people are mad about something. I'm going to do a reading later. But when are they not mad about something? Answer the question. It'll be easier to trace when they're not mad. Because when are they not mad about something? These people are thieves. They're hijacking federal mail using corrupt federal mail delivery people, which I saw also. Two. See, there's two, and they're similar. One is a little more heavier set, and one is a smaller set, but they both seem to have like bald hair or like low haircuts. And yeah, I saw them sprinkle something with the beads on they. Yeah, postal, U.S. postal officers or persons. I don't know what they call the people nowadays. So helping people to hijack mail, gifts that's sent to you, so that it could look like something was sent, but you never received it or something. Because when people start to go tracing, it's like something was mailed to blase, 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 and you ain't get it. You ain't get it. This is no light feat. These are the things that regular people take for granted because they're not experiencing these types of ongoing atrocities into their life. That's how badly these people want money, and that's how badly they want to keep the TI stuck and impoverished and continue to be able to make money off of them being in bondage and suffering and stuck and struggling so they can watch them go through some kind of Hunger Games maze. It's sickening. It's ridiculous. These people are ridiculous. Federal employees. Because if you're a postal man or woman, they're a fucking federal employee. Possibly a part of the code. Because if a couple of holes I'm thinking about got their clenches on them, then I know full well what the fuck happened. So checking mail, receiving mail, this is your life is an obstacle course when you're a TI, and it is no light thing. So anyone out there in the universe who has proof and knowledge of stuff, get off of your ass, get your head out your ass and get in the game and understand that you're not going to save yourself. You're not. Because people who got evidence and trying to make deals is being put under the gun too. Get your head in the game or else end up in the same position. So that you could learn, then maybe you'll have a better understanding and perspective. So they're stealing my mail. They're tampering with me and my son's mail. Yes, yes, they are. They've been doing this since Texas and beyond. And they've been trying to keep me stuck and trapped from being able to leave Texas or from getting, there's something they're scared of me getting to or finding out. And I'm going to, but I'm gonna have some fun on the way. Going to Circle K shouldn't be a marathon. A person getting up to just walk to go get a soda or a drink shouldn't be a fucking obstacle course. I had weird bitches just pulling up and parking. They're weird. And these are all people that obviously, don't get it twisted. They're hired. They're hired. 50% of these people are desperate. The other 50 are entitled. They're desperate for their livelihood, so they are willing to do it. The other 50, like I said, arrogant, entitled, and have, vengeance running through their blood. Going to Circle K. That's what my going to Circle K. A simple act. People are taken for granted. Regular folks are taken for granted. Daily casual activities that are otherwise normal and unbothered. The TIs have people circling around them, same vehicles, license plates, doing weird and odd moves. Ironically enough, they try to paint that onto the target as doing weird and odd things. But that's why I said what I said. That is why I said what I said a minute ago. The TIs start to study and realize that they keep trying to do shit to them to provoke them to an action, hopefully to stage something in front of somebody. So you have to out intelligence them. They're constantly trying to counter yours. Just send a bunch of people with smoke and then it's going to make them spray. And then we can say that they're out here spraying people. Are you spraying people or are you spraying covering yourself because you have a compromised immune system and your health and well-being has been compromised, and you have allergens and you have an aversion to smoke and tobacco and all of those things, but people insist on coming by you and near you to be sure to smoke in front of you. Maybe your health and well-being has been compromised and you're putting in layers of extra precaution because maybe you live in a town that everybody smokes, and every time there's something to do, and every time you have to walk through any location, it seems like everybody is smoking. So maybe you're putting precaution in for yourself. Do you not? They just like they can smoke their lungs into cancer, you have a right to protect yours. Secondhand smoke is said to be worse than the direct smoker. You have a right to protect yours since everybody seemed to be into it. You have a right. Your health and well-being is not as important as their right to just go about walking up and down the street smoking and blowing smoke in people's face. Or out their vehicles making sure to circle around you and have their window down so they can let the smoke out. You don't have a right to cover yourself for that. They say we paranoid, so we can say the very same thing, can't we? They're paranoid. Oh my God, everything is not about them. I'm just out here smoking my cigarette, so we can say the same thing. Oh my God, they're paranoid. Everything is not about them. We're just covering our lungs and our health and well-being. We're not smokers, and we have a compromised immune system, and this is a town of smokers. That's how we have to deal with this stuff, though, because this is the games they're playing. These are the same people placing broken keys on top of mailboxes that's trying to act like they're sound and stable. That's trying to get people to question your spray bottle while they're having people put broken keys. So you have to, you know, because you do have a right to care for yourself. That's legitimate and it's plausible. If you're not a smoker, do you want to be constantly flooded with smoke? I'm just saying, if you're not a smoker, do you want it to be every time your ass walk outside, here comes somebody with their damn smoke? A non-smoker does not. But just like you can't control the fact that they're smoking, that's their right to do it. It's your right to protect your energy. It's like these energies don't want you all to be able to defend yourself, because defending yourself will make you look crazy. So
44%, huh?
So they want to make you feel like you're damned if you do, if you're damned if you don't. If you do, it's going to make you look nutty. If you don't, you're going to have to clear the energy and deal with it. And so you're just going to have to counter their intelligence, trying to counter your intelligence. It should not be an obstacle course and a marathon. And quite frankly, these people shouldn't even have this amount of time, energy, and resources on their hands to be following me around. So it's an embarrassment. These people could be making better use of their time. They could be taking care of their families instead of putting curses on their families for fucking with TIs. They can be having a good time, you know, they could be healing, they could be doing something productive. This is an embarrassment. No amount of hatred. This is a call for overall mental health eval for all. Because there should be no amount of hatred that consumes folks to this magnitude. But here's the thing, these are thieves. And that's going to help a whole lot of people to understand as well. These are people that have been stealing and want to continue to steal. These are thieves. They want their livelihood at the expense of other people's lives. The hatred and the vendetta just adds spice to the fuel to the fury. But it certainly is a call. If you have information and you can assist TIs, do so. And I'm talking men and women. I'm not just reaching out like romantic. This is anyone. Okay? Anybody. Because often romantic partners get, they I don't know. I'm going to just leave it at that. They think they're going to slide out and go start a new life. They tried that shit. They'll deal with what they have to deal with. So anyone, take action. They make it a challenge for these TIs. They're driving in maze circles. They got all day to do that. Trash, just trash. When I go back, I can guarantee you, I took some footage and I may end up uploading it either here on YouTube or on my Facebook so y'all can see it for yourself. So you can see what I'm telling you is the truth. When I get ready to go, it's a guarantee there's going to be some meth head, the zombie that they've been having walk around the city with blonde hair. It's possibly one of their sorcerers. Okay, guarantee you. When I get ready to go again, now that I can come to change clothes and change shoes, so I can get my walk on, my tilt, okay, without no hindrance. Guarantee you I'm going to see this a good same 30, 50, between 30 to 50 cars, half from Delta Manor. That's a call. That's a time for a city to have a mental health examination. It's leadership. It's time for the mental health. Okay, listen now. I can't find no other way to put this shit. I'm like, that's a call for the mentals. Because they stealing. They want to act highfalutin, but they're thieves. They want to act like they're better than, but they're fucking crooks. Sitting here trying to steal some shit from somebody else, stealing mail, doing all kind of shit, but they want to act better than.
I think you need to go to the store right away.
I am. And that's what trips me the fuck out. They have the nerve to be having a nose up sometimes. I'm like, bitch, please. Negro, please. How the hell you got your nose up? You up here stalking folks. That's your career, bitch. How the hell you got your nose up? Child. And it pissed me off about these programs though, because like I said, they be appealing to people on the county. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the fusion center employees are folks that's on the county, on government assistance. I'm just gonna keep it on the one, huh? And that's a part of the little program to get a little job. So that's what got my stomach turning too. It's like, that's fucked up. How they appealing to people's, situations. These people that has to go through these programs, or, in order to keep their benefits, or, you know what I'm saying? People that may have gotten in trouble, and they, this is the terms and conditions of service and stuff like that. But with the stunt, with the whole finding the key today, there's something that somebody must be mad about, that key on my son's mailbox, that I don't know about yet. I did say earlier I might do a reading because it's something maybe I don't know. Because I'm like, what now? What's the problem now? What they mad at now? They done been stealing good and plenty. I don't understand what the fuck the problem is. It's like, damn, you stealing, you doing all sorts of shit. What the fuck is the problem now? What's the problem? Anyway, I gotta go. Going to Circle K is a marathon, when most people just get to have a nice little breezy walk up the street and get them a cold drink, and it ain't no big deal. Everything that a TI does is an exhausting big deal, because we have all of these weirdos following us around. In some of our cases, we have sorcerers and cult members following us around doing ritual work. They're obsessed. Because how come they can't be in their lives somewhere else? They're obsessed with money, they're obsessed with power, they're obsessed with something.